Hi everybody, welcome back to Smithsdale Farm. In this video we're going to be sharing with you a little bit more information that we teased on our last video about building a cabin on the land. So some people might be asking, why are we going to build a cabin when we have a perfectly good shell of a house that we can start to renovate? Well, we're going to explain why we're going to build the cabin, where we're going to build it, how we're going to build it in this video, so make sure you keep watching.
If you're not already subscribed to the channel, you should be. We've got lots of exciting things to come. We've got building the cabin, renovating the tiny house, rejuvenating the land, doing things like permaculture, food forestry, and of course we've got Paco.
Let's get into it.
We're Danny and Kate, and this is Paco. After 5 years living in Barcelona, enjoying city life, the beach and the slopes, it's time for a new adventure. Follow our journey as we build our very own tiny house and start a mortgage-free homestead in the mountains in Spain. Welcome to Smithsdale Farm.
So we're going to build a cabin, but why? We have this really nice stone building on our property, so why don't we just convert that? Well, we are going to convert it, but the thing is that we need somewhere that we can actually stay whilst we're doing that renovation. So we're going to build a cabin so that we've got somewhere that's comfortable and safe and easy to sleep.
So we're currently staying in a tent inside the house. This is okay, it's comfortable enough. We've done a block of 2 weeks and now we're down here for another weekend. But for the 2 days at a weekend, it means we spend time setting up camp and then breaking camp, and we lose valuable time. This is why having a cabin away from the main house while we do the renovations will be useful.
So we've been clearing this spot here to build the cabin, and it's on the corner of one of the terraces, so there's plenty of space to build something that's big enough to set up like a bed and a small kitchen area. It's close enough to the house to make it convenient, but it's also far enough away not to be disturbing any of the building works that we're doing there, and still make it feel like we've got a kind of calm mountain retreat, even when we're in the middle of a really chaotic build when it comes to that.
So as I'm sitting here editing, I realised that we left the last video actually talking about how we were going to get a delivery of materials to the land.
Yeah, there's a little bit more to do, probably a few more bushes and a couple more olive trees, and then hopefully we'll be ready to start building the cabin.
We'll have to order the materials for next time we come down and try and coincide our next visit with a delivery from the ferreteria. We've had a supplier come out already and assess the road, and they've said it's okay to deliver materials up here. They have an 8-ton truck, so anything smaller than that should also be fine. So we're quite happy that on our next trip we should be able to get some materials up here.
Well, that actually didn't happen on our next trip down, and I thought I'd just put a little disclaimer here about this video.
In this video, you will not see Danny and Kate order materials for the cabin and get them delivered to Smithsdale Farm. You will, however, find out lots about why, how, and where they will build their off-grid cabin in their property in the mountains in Spain. If you actually want to see that cabin get built, remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.
If you haven't actually seen that video where we prune the olive trees, prepare the land and start getting ready for building the cabin, then I'll put a link in the description box below and you can go back and watch that one. But for now, let's get back to this video.
So for the cabin, we're planning to build it by ourselves, not a prefab. We've gone for this mainly because I've not built anything really since school, and even that was like school project style.
Yeah, me neither.
And so it would be a good practice for the house. I mean, a shed should be a fairly simple build to get on with, and it will give us those practical skills and experiences that we're lacking really before we start on a much bigger project for renovating the house. We'll still put insulation and things in because, you know, the winter, it was quite cold at Christmas. We were talking nights at 2 degrees camping. So that would be nice to have it a little bit warmer. But then also in the summer, you can get 40-degree heat in the summer. And so insulation again should help keep the place cool, much cooler than a sweaty tent.
It'll also serve as somewhere that we can test out things like solar systems or guttering to collect rainwater, because if we're actually going to make this thing work and we're going to be living totally off-grid, there are a lot of things that we need to perfect.
As we mentioned on our last video, we'd had some suppliers come up and assess the road to get materials delivered here. That was quite a big supplier. We've also looked at other smaller ferreterias about delivering wood and things like that. So if that big supplier can get here, the smaller one should as well. And then we're also going to look at getting a trailer so we can go out and get materials easily ourselves. Because okay, we've got the car now to get us down here with a decent amount of things, but building materials inside the car, there's not actually that much space. So a trailer would really help us in this. Just a quick update on the olives that we trimmed recently. So these are along the terrace that we're going to build the cabin on. So what you can see is that the olive trees we've trimmed have got a lot of flowers coming through on them now. If anything, these seem to have more flowers than the existing olive trees that have not been trimmed. So it looks like we've done something in the right direction, and we might get something, a decent harvest out by the end of the year, and we'll let you know about that.
Our neighbours have just arrived, so we're going to pop over and say hello, and Paco gets a chance to play with another couple of puppies. So we're just sitting under one of the olive trees that we pruned last time now, just to take a little bit of shade and close off this week's video. So that's our plan. If you want to follow along as we build this cabin and the tiny house and regenerate the land and all of that good stuff, then don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.